Welcome to NASCAR Heat Mobile Cup Series Season 8 Race 2. The Pennzoil 400 at Las Vegas Motor Speedway will begin in a few short minutes. But first, let's do a recap of the last race at Daytona. So NASCAR F1 fan was able to score his long-awaited win. He should have won last season, but wasn't able to do it. But he won the first race possible here in Season 8. Dark Pump starting on pole here today in Las Vegas. He is looking for his first win of the season, first win of his title defense season. Here we go, 30 laps. Green flag is out in Las Vegas. We are underway. This was the championship race last season. So here we go. Race 2, Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Moved from the finale, shifted from the absolute end of the calendar all the way to week 2. A fast, smooth 1.5-mile trial to test early season downforce setups. This is going to be a good race. Dark Pump's looking to go back-to-back here in Las Vegas as he won the championship race last season. But I will take the lead. I will lead lap 1. This man, Dark Pumps fell back a lot there. Looked like he fell outside of the top 5 almost. I'll have to see where he is. Yeah, this has always been a really good racetrack. It's been a fun racetrack for us to go to. The first race was in Season 6, where SMB started on pole. He led the first half of the race, but then the one car passed him. I don't remember who was driving it at the time. And then last season, we had it as the championship race. SMB started on pole again, but he lost it early to the 18 of Dark Pumps, and once the 18 got the lead, there was no turning back. He led almost the whole race, won the race, and the championship. I finished second in that race, and I am starting right where I left off last time here, leading the race. Well, I don't think I led at all during the race last season, but I was close to the front and almost won, so. There's the 8 of Sugashan running second. There's Lucas K in third. Trombone Players fourth, and Dark Pump settling into fifth. We'll see if he can get up there once they catch the lap traffic. You know, these mile-and-a-halfs are always pretty interesting. You know, they're usually shorter races. Usually we have about 30 laps. That's the case here today. But they get interesting, especially towards the end when the lap traffic comes into play. We'll have to see what happens here. So the 8 and the 5 gaining, maybe. It looks like everyone's kind of keeping a even distance from each other. I don't really see too many guys, gaining or falling back from each other. But as I said, that's going to change once we hit the lap traffic. So let's talk about me for a second. I've been in the 11 since the very first season. I'm a 2-time Daytona 500 winner. Last season, I think at least the regular season was one of my best seasons ever. I had 2 wins, but I finished top 5 in every race but one in the regular season, and that was Watkins Glen, which makes sense. Road courses have never really been my strength here. But I was by far the championship favorite, and then race 1 in Darlington, I finished 16th. That was my worst finish in NASCAR Heat Mobile Cup Series ever. So that was already a bad start. I don't remember exactly where I finished in Bristol. I think it was somewhere at the bottom of the top 10. And same with Kansas, and I got eliminated. I did not make the Final 4, which that was horrible because I had such a big fall off. I mean, I went from winning the regular season championship to getting eliminated. Almost being below F1 fan who missed a whole race in the playoffs. He DNQ'd at Bristol. But he also finished second in both his races. So, yeah, that's kind of my story. See, Sugashan running second. He finished third here last season, second in the championship. Sugashan is kind of a, you don't really talk about him a whole lot, but he's a pretty good driver. He, like I said, almost won the championship last season. I think if it was 5 to 10 laps longer, the 8 car would have gotten there, but he just did not have the speed to keep up with us Joe Gibbs Racing cars. But he was very close. He did win one race last season, the Coca-Cola 600. And overall, he was just really consistent in the playoffs. Driving for RCR. The other RCR car is the number 3, which the number 3 usually isn't up at the front. I've seen him up in the top 10. I think that's Mopar. Yeah, Mopar drives the number 3. There he is right there, just passed by in that giant group of cars. But yeah, Sugushan's good driver, looking for his first win of the season. It would be his second career win if he can win here today. We'll have to see if he can. But I'm still leading the way here. Lap 10 out of 30. So coming up on 20 to go when I come back around. Lucas K running third. 4 wins last season. He won Atlanta, Auto Club, Michigan, and Kansas. So all bigger racetracks. He's never really been good at smaller racetracks. I think the smallest track he's won at is Phoenix. He's usually the best at the 1.5 miles. Actually, he's usually better at tracks like Michigan and Auto Club. He's won 3 times at Michigan and, of course, won Auto Club last season. So he's pretty good at these kind of racetracks, looking for his first win of the season. He won race 2 at Atlanta last season, so we'll see if he can win race 2 in Vegas this season. Trombone player's running P4. Obviously, this is his second season. Finished 8th in the 500 last week. He had 2 wins last season in Dover and Bristol, and he finished 6th in this race last season. So he was starting to get better at the bigger racetracks towards the end of last season. The bigger racetracks weren't really his strength, but he was definitely getting better at them, and he's looking to get a top 5 here today. Running 5th is Dart Pump's last season's champion. 4 wins last season. He won Daytona, Chicagoland, Darlington, and this race, Las Vegas, the championship race. And, he won the pole here today. Last time he won the pole was out at Darlington. And he had a really good car that race. He led all the laps. He was gaining like a second or more every single lap. It was a very impressive win. And, once I saw that he was on pole here today, I was like, oh man, we might be in for another butt whooping here today. But no, he has fallen back, kind of settled there into 5th. We'll see if he can do anything towards the end of this race to get this win back. Running 6th, I think, was SMB. 7th is... we'll have to see. Here they come. Yeah, 7th is F1 Fan, last week's winner. 8th place is Car Dirt. That's also a second-year driver. He finished 2nd in Texas. I think that was the biggest highlight for him. I won that Texas race, and he finished 2nd, even though he was about 15 seconds behind me. He still finished 2nd. That was lap 15 out of 30. Took lap 15 right there. When I come back around, it'll be 15 down, 15 to go here in Sin City. Las Vegas. Like I said, newer racetrack on the schedule, but very similar to Kansas. I think Kansas is probably the best 1.5 miles we have. Unfortunately, Kansas did not get a race date this season. Very unfortunate, but we're hoping we'll be able to get Kansas next season. Obviously, if there is a next season. I don't know what's going to happen after this. I don't know how many races we'll get to do. We're lucky to even be doing this race. Very happy to be here in Las Vegas, racing these cars on this wonderful 1.5 mile racetrack. We'll see who will bring home the win. I don't know. Will F1 Fan be able to retain his points lead? Because obviously he was the points leader after winning the 500, but he's down in 8th place, or 7th place, sorry. We'll have to see who will get the points lead. Trombone players might be able to get it if he finishes 4th. I might be able to get it. We'll just have to see. Obviously, points get released right after the race, so we will see who will have that points lead. Trombone player's looking really good on that 4th place finish, 8th place in the 500, and obviously showing that team has gotten better at the bigger racetracks. Usually their strength are the smaller racetracks, like Bristol, obviously, Dover, Phoenix. Phoenix is next week, so we'll have to see if he can get a win there. He almost won Phoenix last season. But yeah, he has definitely gotten a lot better at the bigger racetracks, and kudos to him for that. Because obviously at the bigger racetracks, he was very inconsistent. finishing towards the back at most of them, as I'm going to catch the tail end of the field here in a second. That'll give the 8 and the 5 an opportunity, as I've actually been pulling away from them. You know, the first 5 or 10 laps, I wasn't really gaining a whole lot, but I've started to gap them a little bit. Must have a really good long-run car here today. But that doesn't matter if the lap traffic is going to mess me out of a win. We'll have to see. It's going to be lap 20 out of 30, so 11 to go when I come back around here. 11 to go as I pass the 50 car. But I'm getting stuck behind the 78. We'll have to see what will happen. They're about 5 seconds back. We'll have to see who is going to make a move to win this race. Because if you want to win this race, you can't just sit in line. You have to make a move of some sort. You have to do something. You have to try to make that pass. I think the first car running the outside is Nate. But he might be too far back to do anything. He was the Watkins Glen winner last season. Very impressive win for him. I don't know, it might be hard for somebody running the outside to make a pass because you can see the 50 car is running the outside. We'll have to see if somebody's brave enough to go up to the wall. I think that's what you're going to have to do. As Trombone Players has gapped Pump's SMB and F1 fan by a lot. There's probably like 5 to 10 seconds between those two cars. So he's looking to lock up a top 5. Lap 22 out of 30. 9 laps to go. Here comes the 8 and the 5. Lucas K last season was really good at getting around lap traffic. That was his big strength. I remember Michigan. He got stuck around lap traffic. I was able to pass, but then he got back around the lap traffic, chased me down, and won that race. That was a very impressive win for him. And then he did it at Kansas. He was stuck behind lap traffic, got around, and that's what got him that win. So Lucas K, he's a veteran, 3-time NASCAR Heat Mobile Cup Series champion. He knows how to handle the lap traffic. We'll see if he can do it here today to pick up another win. It'll be his 15th career win if he can bring home the dub here today. You know, Daytona's a really big race, but this race is also a pretty big race because, you know, if you win this race, go celebrate down at the Strip. Las Vegas, very entertaining city for sure. So the winner of this race will have a lot of fun things to do once they take the checkered flag here today. But who is it going to be? Am I going to keep the lead? Yes, I do. The 8 car's right there, though. So is the 5. Can the 12 car maybe do anything? Get his 3rd career win. It's going to be interesting. We still got 7 laps remaining. I don't think that pack of cars is going to catch up. I think they're too far back, and there's not enough laps for them to do anything. So it's going to be between these front 4. Me, Lucas, Trombone Players, and Sugashan. Going to be fighting it out for the win. As nobody was able to get past right there. The 12 car is going to be there here by the end of this lap, I think. I think I'll be able to hang on to it. I think I'm lucky that I have those cars on the outside right there. If those cars weren't there, then I'd be a little worried, but I think those cars running the outside are going to actually help me here. So we'll have to see. It would feel really good if I was able to get this win, especially after the heartbreak in the playoffs last season. As yeah, here comes the 12 car. 5 laps to go here in Las Vegas. We've been running very slow laps. The fastest lap of this race was a 30.4 on lap 3. Last time was a 32.6. So about 2 full seconds slower now that we're in the traffic. It's going to be 4 to go here. Who is going to win the Pennzoil 400? As the 12 car's right there on the bumper, the outside line is now open. Will any of them take that outside line? The outside line, the 42 and I think the 50 were the ones running up there, and we were able to get past them. So now that we're clear, those spotters and crew chiefs are over there telling their drivers, hey, you know, you're clear of that lap traffic. The outside is open. Just be careful because sometimes the outside doesn't always work. But at a track like this, it might be what you need to do. As here they come. 3 to go here in Las Vegas. Can any of them make a move, or will I hang on to lead every single lap here in Las Vegas and take the checkered flag? 3 laps to decide it. All these drivers hungry for this win, but only one driver can prevail. Looking like it's going to be me, but don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. Just got to stay clean for 2 more laps as I come back around. Here they come. 2 to go. I don't think any of them are brave enough to use that outside. But you never know. We've seen crazy last lap passes in these races before. We saw that crazy finish at Kansas last season between Lucas K and NASCAR F1 fan. You know, that's what made F1 fans' Daytona 500 victory so special. Is just all the second place finishes, all the near wins that he had last season, was never able to get one. But here we come. White flag, 1 lap to go here in Las Vegas. It's been an absolutely dominating performance from my number 11. Was able to take the lead from my teammate, started second, and I've led every single lap to this point, trying to hang on. I had 2 wins last season. I was the regular season champion, but unfortunately got eliminated after a very, very inconsistent playoffs. But out of turn 4, I am going to win the Pennzoil 400 in Las Vegas. Checkered flag. I win the Pennzoil 400. Let's go. Another win on the board. That one feels good. Wow, that feels good after the struggles we had last season. Finished second in this race to my teammate last season. Kind of let him have that win. It's going to be my 8th career win. That was a good win. I was able to hold off on those guys. You know, Lucas, Sugashawn, and trombone players were right there, breathing down my neck. But they were not able to make a move on that outside, and I was able to win here in Las Vegas. So that is it for now, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.